I'm gonna go ahead and say it. The next one of you jerks who sends me this video, I swear I'm gonna lose it. Because I'm telling you right now, gold wing riders don't do that. We have way too much arthritis in our hips. We flip around the other way and do it from the other side, okay? Jesus, you think you people know by now. Just roll the intro. Hey, what's up, y'all? So, it's April, and that means it's Autism Awareness Month. This is one of my favorite videos that I do every year. It's not the most popular video. It never has been, actually. If you look at the numbers of most of my videos lately, they're in the tank. It happens. I'm not all that popular, and I'm not handsome. I don't ride a Harley, and I've been told I'm not very intelligent. So, it is what it is. But every year, making the autism video is important to me, simply because there's so many people who deal with autism. I want to stop before I go further to say this. At one point in time, and even maybe in my own mind, I always thought that autism was something that needed to be cured, or autism was something that was life-threatening even, or whatever. And I have since learned and changed my stance, simply because there are plenty of people who live with high-functioning autism that are successful and have amazing lives. And then there's plenty of young kids and men and women who are very deep in the spectrum, and they have it rough. They're nonverbal. They have problems in social situations, all kinds of things. That's just the tip of the iceberg. But anyway, I've learned over the years, since my son's diagnosis when he was about 2, my son's currently 9, and my son is, he's 9, and I would say that he is intellectually about 4 or 5 years old as far as maturity and where he's at intellectually. He's behind in school. There's just certain things he doesn't learn well. In social situations, it just depends on who he's around. He's not comfortable around certain people. He's much more comfortable at school now and making friends, and that's great. We're excited about that. But the video means so much to me because there's a lot of people out there that have autistic children. There's autistic adults out there. There are people who live with autism every day, and I have people reach out to me every year after this video and say, "Man, thank you for making your autism video, your autism awareness video. I have a son, I have a daughter. I'm autistic." It was one of the best ones. I had a guy reach out to me and say, "Man, I'm autistic, and I just want you to know that I appreciate you talking about autism and bringing out awareness." Here's the important thing. I feel guilty now, but when we got my son's diagnosis, it was devastating for my wife and I. And I look back at that, and it's normal and natural to have emotions, that we were very upset because we just wanted our kid to be normal. And what the fuck is normal these days, in all honesty? There's nothing normal. Nobody is normal. Everybody's different. Everybody's weird. Everybody's got their own thoughts and things, but whatever. I look at it now, we looked at it almost like we'd gotten like a terminal cancer diagnosis. My wife and I both were just devastated. And then, and at that time, my son was nonverbal. He was nonverbal for maybe 2 more years. And then I look at my son today, where he's come, and how far he's gone. And I look at the fact that he is verbal. And I look at the fact that we can have conversations. And I look at the fact that I'm so blessed that I get to do things with my son. And he likes to go outside and likes to go do things that other people that have autism don't like to do. In fact, the standing joke, you hear it all the time. I got a bit of the tism. Everyone has a little something. Everybody's got a little bit of a disorder, or whatever you want to call it. We're all different. And my son, I say this every year, and I say all the time, my son has taught me more than I will ever teach him. just his mind and the way he thinks, it's amazing to me. I'm blessed to have him as my son. And when I look at things, I look at my son, and I'm excited for him and for his future and the possibility that of what he's going to do with his life. Yes, my son may live with me the rest of his life. I don't know that he'll be able to live on his own. I'm hoping that he'll be able to get on his own and have his own life in his own way, but I don't know that, and that's okay. I don't know what the future brings for him, but I know that there's people out there who are dealing with autism, and they're dealing with it, the hard side of it. I'm not saying names. I used to work with a gentleman that had a son who was 14, 15 years old, who was severely autistic. And at 14 and 15, still was acting like he was 2 years old, nonverbal. He's never had a conversation with his son. That one got me because he and I would talk about it, and I almost had like that survivor's guilt or survivor's remorse, because I would feel guilty that I could have a conversation with my son. My son can tell me when he's sick what hurts or what's bothering him. His son can't. They've had to go in and have MRIs to figure out what was wrong with his son. I mean, it's things like that make me be grateful. And this video, what I want to get down to, what I want to say is that there are people who deal with things that we can't imagine on a daily basis. There are people who deal with autism on a scale sometimes that we can't. I can't imagine. You know, I used to be woe is me. You know, and now I'm like, no, man, I'm super blessed and I'm excited because my son is different. His brain works different, and that's awesome. And there's plenty of people out there who feel the same way, and they say autism is just something that. It's a part of my son, but it's not who he is. It's not what he's about. And there's somebody out there. There's a parent out there. You might have autism yourself, and you watch this video. Just know, hey, there's plenty of people who care. There's plenty of people who love you. There's plenty of people out there who understand. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with you. Okay? You have autism. Guess what? If you're watching this and you are an adult with autism, you're a success story right now, because you're making your way in the world, and it ain't easy to make your way in the world these days, regardless if you have autism or not. It's a fucked up place sometimes, but it's an amazing place with some amazing people. And for anybody out there who's like, man, there's certain like channels, and there's certain Instagram channels and YouTube channels, the Cooper's Voice, and different things like that, where parents put what their autistic son, their children have got to do, and things like that. And I think it brings hope to other people. I think bringing it to the forefront and telling people, hey, there's hundreds of thousands, if not, I haven't looked at the numbers. I didn't look at the numbers before I did this video. I think there's actually millions of people who deal with autism on a daily basis. My wife is a early childhood special education teacher currently, because it meant that much to us that when my wife started teaching, she wanted to be able to help people, families that have autism, because sometimes, especially in the beginning when you're dealing with it, you feel like you don't have hope. And I think that my wife's goal was to be able to show these parents and these kids, when they make progress, what an amazing thing it is. My wife gets excited when she says, hey, I have a kid who's nonverbal, but I taught them how to do sign language to say yes and no, and how to sign language for I love you and things. And they were able to tell their parents they love you with sign language. And to see those parents' faces light up when their kid does I love you in sign language, or thank you or no, and to know they can communicate with their child that way. My wife said, I could see the brightness in my wife's eyes, because she's so excited that she got to help somebody, and be able to tell them, look, I have a child that's autistic. I know what you're going through, and guess what? We're going to work on making things better together and try to make it where we can bridge a communication gap, or we can just make you feel better about their diagnosis altogether. I'm proud of my wife. Mrs. Smitty Riding does amazing things. She's an amazing human being. She enjoys helping those kids and those families. And that's what I want. If you're out there right now and you're a parent, because sometimes you feel hopeless, you feel helpless. Sometimes you feel like, man, nobody understands what my kid goes through, because everybody's different with autism. Different diets, different noises, different sound levels, different lights, different social situations. Everyone's different as to what they can and can't handle. We were talking about autism. But there's somebody out there who cares about you. There's somebody out there who can encourage you. And I want to encourage you right now. No matter what's going on, you're a blessing that you have your child. It's a blessing that if you have autism, it's a blessing that you're here. And you know what? Life is an amazing thing. There's people who care. And I hope and pray that when people watch this video, they realize, as far as dealing with autism, there's always hope, there's always help, and that there's always a brighter day. Hey, y'all, do me a favor, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the little bell icon so you get notifications when the shit show gets rolling again. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Thank you to all the people who reach out to me every year during this video. Like I said, the video doesn't get a lot of views, and that's okay because it's not meant for everybody. If this video reaches one person who is a little bit downtrodden, or they're just tired, or they just have gone through a lot with when dealing with autism on a daily basis, you're not alone. There's help out there. There's people to talk to. There's resources available. And I'll be honest with you, if you're frustrated and you just need to vent to somebody, hey, leave a comment. Hit me up on Instagram, on direct message. I have no problem talking to you. It makes me happy when people reach out to me and they say, hey man, thanks for making that video. I've got a question for you, or I've got a problem, and I may not have the answers. I say it every year. I may not have the answers, but you know what? We'll find resources that do, you know? Somebody out there knows. I don't know very much. I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer, but I can find people who do. I want to thank everyone. Thank you for your support. Thank you for watching the autism video. Now, I want to tell you guys to have a great day. Let's try not to be assholes to each other, and I'll see y'all next time.
Foundation is sound. I still do the shit for my people, for Roberto, for Justin, for Jared, for Nico, Big Smitty, Big O, say stay lit.